What will the TOEFL 2026 be like? Will it be easier? Should I take the current version now or wait until January 21st for the updated version? In this video, we'll answer these and other common questions about the new test. Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel, where we teach you tips and tricks to ace the TOEFL test. Honestly, this is one of the most anticipated videos on our channel because I've received tons of questions about how the 2026 changes will affect TOEFL test takers. Today, I will address all these questions and most importantly, I hope to help you decide whether to wait for the updated version or take the current one. I want this video to be as neutral and unbiased as possible so you can make your own choice without me praising one version or criticizing another. To set the record straight, I've been working intensely on the new format for the last couple of months, breaking it down to see the best way to tackle the questions. Since many of my one-on-one students will need to take the test after the changes take place, I've also been helping them prepare for the new format. This has given me insight into the most common problems people might face with the new format. As you know, I've taught the old format for a long time, so I know its main pitfalls. Without further ado, let's compare both formats. This video will focus on the listening sections of the test. There will also be the second part, covering the writing and speaking sections, so subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon to avoid missing it. Just like the current version, the new TOEFL will consist of 4 sections: reading, listening, speaking, and writing. Currently, the test takes 2 hours to complete. The new format will be about an hour and a half long, making it even shorter. Does that make it easier? Not really. It means that time-consuming tasks such as the integrated essay, long lectures, and integrated speaking questions have been removed. Let's jump right into the listening section. In the current version of the test, you'll listen to 3 lectures, some of which include classroom discussions. Each lecture is 3 to 5 minutes long and is followed by 6 questions. You'll also hear 2 3-minute conversations, each followed by 5 questions. So the listening section looks like this: conversation, lecture, conversation, lecture, lecture. The entire section usually takes 36 minutes. If we add up the maximum duration of all the lectures and conversations, we get 21 minutes, which leaves you with about 15 minutes to answer all the questions. There are 28 questions in total, so you will need to answer each one in about half a minute. Of course, not all lectures are exactly 5 minutes long, so you will probably have more time, but half a minute is the minimum. The questions are still multiple choice, which is great because you can still get the correct answer even if you didn't hear or understand something. I usually teach this in my one-on-one sessions. The idea is that you should be able to guess all the right answers without hearing the conversation or lecture. You can also master the skill on your own. Begin by answering the questions without listening first. Take your guesses, then listen and check yourself. This approach helps you become familiar with the common traps that examiners set for you, allowing you to ace this part of the test. So, the pros of the current listening section are: all questions are multiple choice, so you can make an educated guess. There is a set number of questions, so you won't be surprised by anything new. Many questions are easy if you understood the listening well. The cons are: some of the lectures are very detailed. While you most likely won't need all these details to answer the questions, they can be confusing. The lectures that are up to 5 minutes in length are quite long, and students often struggle to stay focused. This is where the notes come in handy. They will not only help you answer the questions, but they'll keep your mind focused on the information you're listening to, instead of drifting off to thoughts about what to cook for dinner or where to go on vacation. Some lectures use a lot of academic vocabulary, Similarly to the reading section, if topics such as geology, astronomy, and biology aren't your strong suit, you might need to review them. In the new TOEFL listening section, you will have to answer 30 to 40 questions. Instead of 28, there will be 4 tasks. One task is listen and choose a response. For this question type, you will listen to 8 sentences or questions in English, and then select a response from 4 options. For example, you'll hear the question, "Who's responsible for the project timeline?" You won't see the question, you'll only hear it. Then choose one of the 4 options. I do, I'm not sure, a few unexpected delays, it stays on track. Feel free to let me know what you think the right answer is in the comments below. This task isn't hard, and I don't think you'll have many problems with it. The 2 main challenges are understanding the sentence or question, and then choosing the correct answer. This task requires knowing the types of questions and the rules for answering them. For example, in our task, I do sounds like a good option, but it's not grammatically correct. If the question asks, "Who is responsible for something?" you need to respond, "I am," not "I do." Task 2 is listen to a conversation. Think of it as a shortened version of the current conversations. Instead of 3 minutes, each conversation will last only 20 to 30 seconds. Instead of 5 questions after each conversation, there will only be 2. Task 3 is listen to an announcement. Similar to the listen to a conversation task, the recording will be 20 to 30 seconds long, and you will have 2 questions to answer after it. The only difference is that instead of a conversation between 2 people, you will hear an announcement on campus. Task 4 is listen to an academic talk. This is a shortened version of the current lectures. Rather than being 3 to 5 minutes long, as the lectures are now, the academic talks will only last 90 seconds each. You will have 4 questions after each talk, rather than 6. As you can see, lectures and conversations will be significantly shorter, and the number of questions after each recording will be reduced. There will also be 2 new tasks, listen to an announcement and listen and choose a response. So Module 1 might look like this. Listen and choose a response task, 8 questions. 3 to 4 conversations, 2 questions each. 1 to 3 campus announcements, 2 questions each. 1 or 2 academic texts, 4 questions each. This will give us 20 to 30 questions in the first module again. As with the new TOEFL reading section, if you score less than 60%, you'll receive the easier module 2. In the easier module, you may have a few listen and choose a response tasks, followed by several conversations and announcements. Think of the easy module as the first module without the listen to an academic talk task. If you score more than 60%, you will be redirected to the hard module. The hard module will be pretty much the same as the first module, meaning you will have the same 4 question types. ETS says that the listening section will have a maximum of 47 questions, and you will have a maximum of 29 minutes to complete this section of the test. Therefore, the advantages of the new format are: the listening tasks are much shorter, so students can concentrate more easily. All the questions are multiple choice, which makes it easier to guess if you didn't hear something. There will be more everyday life tasks than longer academic ones. The cons are, there will be more task types. We have 2 new tasks, listen and choose a response, and listen to an announcement. Since the recordings will be shorter, you will have to listen carefully to understand everything. In the current format, if you skip part of a lecture, especially a detailed one, there is a good chance you won't need it to answer the questions because the conversations and lectures are long. In the new format, however, you have to pay close attention because you will most likely need more of the information you hear. As with the reading section, having more questions with no certainty about the exact number adds stress. Overall, if you prefer to work at a calm pace and know exactly what to expect, I recommend the current version. But if you prefer simple questions and can work well under time pressure, tackling a large number of questions with ease, then wait for the new version of the test. That brings us to the end of the video. I hope I answered some of your questions. The second part, which covers the speaking and writing sections, will be released soon, so stay tuned. I want you to be as prepared as possible. Let me know in the comments below which test format you prefer and find easier. It will be interesting to compare your answers. As always, I wish you all the best of luck on your TOEFL journey, and I hope you get a stellar score. Until next time, bye!